It was late night. The rain poured down in sheets as the lone traveler stepped into the old hotel, desperate for shelter. The hotel was ancient, its walls worn and weathered, with an unsettling stillness lingering in the air. The clerk behind the desk gave a slow, deliberate nod and handed over the key without a word, the number 6113 engraved in tarnished brass. The elevator creaked as it ascended to the 6th floor. The dim lights flickered, casting long, distorted shadows down the empty hallway. The traveler could feel something watching, though the corridor was silent, the only sound being the soft drip of water from their coat onto the threadbare carpet. Room 6113 stood at the end of the hall. The door was scratched, the paint peeling, as if it had been clawed at from the inside. Hesitation gnawed at the traveler, but the storm outside was relentless, and there was nowhere else to go. The key turned with a groan, the door creaking open into darkness. The room was cold, unnaturally cold. The air was thick with the musty scent of decay, though the furnishings looked untouched, frozen in time. A large mirror hung on the opposite wall, its glass smudged, reflecting the faint light of a single dim bulb swaying from the ceiling. As the travelers stepped inside, the door slammed shut behind them. They froze, staring at the door, heart pounding in their chest. Slowly turning around, their eyes were drawn to the mirror. Something was wrong. The reflection wasn't right. The room in the glass seemed distorted, stretched like a funhouse mirror, but that wasn't what made the traveler's blood run cold. In the reflection, standing in the far corner of the room, was a figure. It was a silhouette, just out of reach of the dim light, its form hazy and undefined, yet unmistakably there. The traveler spun around, heart racing, but the corner was empty. Nothing there but darkness. Breathing heavily, they turned back to the mirror. The figure hadn't moved, but now its face was visible, or rather, its lack of one. Where its face should have been was only a blank, smooth surface, as if its features had been erased. It stood motionless, watching, waiting. The traveler backed toward the door, their hand fumbling for the knob, but it wouldn't turn. It was as if the door had fused with the frame, trapping them inside. Desperation clawed at their mind as they pounded on the wood, calling for help, but their voice seemed to be swallowed by the room. The lights flickered, and in that brief instant of darkness, the mirror changed again. The figure was closer now, halfway across the room, its faceless head tilted as if observing, curious. The air grew colder, frost beginning to form on the windows and mirror. Their breath came out in visible puffs, each exhale a reminder of how the temperature was dropping unnaturally fast. Another flicker, and the figure was closer still, only a few feet away. Panic surged. The traveler screamed, but the sound felt muted, as though the room itself was absorbing it. They backed against the wall, their eyes locked on the mirror, watching the faceless thing creep ever closer until the lights went out completely. Silence. Absolute, suffocating silence. When the lights flickered back on, the room was empty. The mirror showed nothing but the dim reflection of the room and the lone traveler. Shaking, they slowly approached the door again, this time feeling the handle turn freely. As they fled down the hallway, heart racing, they made one mistake. They glanced back at the mirror. And for the briefest moment, they saw the figure, now standing where they had been, staring back at them through the glass. The traveler left the hotel that night, never to return. But the room remains waiting. And if you ever find yourself handed the key to room 613, take heed. Because once you enter, you may never leave. Thanks for watching this video, and subscribe to my channel for more videos.